Hello and welcome to the channel of Absolute Quality, and today we're going to be talking about the whole weapon roll situation and also the changing of the weapon slots. I wanted to talk about these things today because they might be changing How to Crucible, and I have a feeling I'm going to be changing How to Crucible almost immediately, like exactly tomorrow. Tomorrow, How to Crucible will be a little bit different with the weapon reviews. Now, mainly the one thing that's changing is the perks. So the perks kind of have to upgrade or evolve a little bit because of the fact that weapon rolls are coming back. So mainly this kind of entails that the perks aren't going to be set anymore. They're not going to be static. They're going to be completely different. They're going to be unique in different sorts of ways with combinations and all that other sorts of things. So they're not going to stay the static perks that I have. So rating those perks is going to be difficult, and by difficult I mean almost impossible, mainly because if they happen to be really open with the perks and they let all perks kind of go on every single weapon and every single gun, that will make it basically impossible to rate the weapon via that, because say I rate it for the perks that I get, but you get the same gun with completely different perks, maybe even god perks, and you go in, you destroy, and it's completely better. It's a completely different weapon because of that. So I am going to have to go through the perks, and I think I'm going to have to eliminate the perks. I think I'm going to have to eliminate the perk slot. So instead of 50 points, we would only be able to get 40 points, right? Because while I'm playing with the weapon, or however it's going to happen, if I can actively change the weapon perks as I go and figure out maybe what combinations I can get. Because in Destiny 1, obviously, they had set kind of perk rolls that you could get for it, so it wasn't all perks that you could possibly put on the weapon. There wasn't every single perk that could be possibly put on that weapon. It was kind of like these set rolls, so it's like maybe 3 or 4 different rolls for the weapon that the weapon could possibly have, and so you went through those and found the best one. See, maybe I can do it then. It just depends on how. I'm pretty sure I'm going to delete the perk category for right now because I don't know how it's going to be. And if I throw in perks and then we get to there and then you can put any perk you want on there, perks is going to be irrelevant anyways. So I think I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the perks that I have, but I'm no longer going to rate those perks. Basically because you might get better perks or worse perks. So I just don't want to mess around with that because it could get a little confusing. So How to Crucible tomorrow is going to be different, mainly because I'm going to talk about the perks, but I'm not going to rate them anymore. So it is going to be a score out of 40 total points. And I do believe you might see scores getting even closer to the 40 mark instead of the 50 mark now, mainly because perks was usually never that great anyways, so it was usually always a -3 points every single time, because basically you're only getting 7 or 6 or whatever, so it's basically -3 to 4 points every single time. And now we're just completely getting rid of that category, so there is no -3 or 4 points anymore. So the only points that you're going to be getting is from effectiveness, long range, short range, and then your overall rating, which is just the average of all that. So what I think of the weapon as an overall rating. So scores might be a little bit higher, which is cool because that means we could fill out the scorecard instead. So I'm gonna have to change the should you use it opinion score. Mainly that was a 30, but now since a 30 is basically 10 off of the initial final score that can possibly reach now, I think I'm going to have to tame that down to maybe a 25. We'll see though. I still have to make a How to Crucible yet with that setting on, so we'll see how that goes. Then I also want to kind of bring into the point of the weapon slots changing. There are some new things that came up in the reveal that said you could run 3 shotguns. Now, does this mean that I can use a shotgun primarily as like a primary weapon? That's kind of the initial thought process that's going on in my head. You know, your primary weapon, and currently in Destiny 2, your primary and secondary are the ones that have all the ammo. Those are the weapons that you're constantly using at all times. So if you run crazy and grab shotguns, are you constantly getting shotgun ammo? That's like the question. Can I physically run shotguns in the Crucible and that's it? And so that's kind of the thing where it's like, maybe I can do this, and so maybe I have to start, you know, using the How To Crucible. Mainly the fact that I wasn't using shotguns or snipers or fusion rifles, linear fusion rifles, swords. I wasn't using any of those mainly because it's hard to get the ammo for it. You never like always have the ammo for it. When you're using the secondary and primary weapon, you spawn with ammo in it. So it already has ammo, and then when you kill people, it drops ammo occasionally in the Crucible, but you always have ammo for that weapon every time you respawn from death. But you know, with your situation with the heavy weapons, you don't always have that available. I mean, your teammates are taking it, the enemy's taking it, your teammate might take it from you as you're trying to get it. It's never a guarantee to have heavy ammo. I kind of thought about this. I'm like, well, if I can get heavy ammo constantly for these weapons and they can be put in the primary and secondary slot and I'm spawning with them, I think I'm going to have to start including those weapons as well into How To Crucible. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it anytime soon until the drop, mainly because I need to see first, but I do have a feeling we might end up seeing snipers and shotguns at least in this role. I don't know if I'm going to mess around with grenade launchers or rocket launchers, mainly because they're good regardless. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot of skill involved with the rocket launcher, just saying, nor is there a lot of skill with the grenade launcher. Explosives really don't have a whole lot of skill. You just kind of jump in the air and shoot it, so it really doesn't matter how good the weapon is. They're basically all the same. But snipers have different perks, have different sets, have different sights, have different just movement feel, and then also with maybe your sword has different abilities because there's one sword that you can only use with a hunter. There's also shotguns that have different range stuff, different stats like that. So those would actually work well in the How To Crucible, but I don't know yet. So I kind of wanted to make this video just basically in response to that stuff for How To Crucible itself, for the weapon reviews. I'm probably going to have, I want to, actually. I want to see shotguns and snipers being secondaries at least, so that I can use them in the Crucible quite frequently. That's kind of something that I really want to happen, right? I want to be able to spawn in with maybe some ammo for it, or other things like that. I don't know how it's going to go, but if that's how it happens, then I guess I'm probably going to be using some of those weapons in How To Crucible, that's for sure. But yeah, that's basically all I need to talk about for this video, for you guys to know basically what's going on in my head at least. So again, with the weapon rolls, we're going to eliminate perks. Perks is no longer going to be there. I'm going to remind you for the next probably 3 or 4 videos saying that perks is eliminated. We're not longer using the 50-point system, just so that if people miss a video, they know that I'm still not including the perks. And then we can go from there. And then when the expansion drops, hopefully it drops heavy and it's awesome and it's great and it helps me out and I can make shotgun videos for it, then we can make shotgun videos for How To Crucible. That's basically how it's going to go. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe for more content from me in the future, Destiny is the future currently for this channel, so if you're down for Destiny, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.